Hey everyone, Antoine Fantoine here. You know who it is. Internet's busiest music nerd. Brightening things up over here. Blah. Alright, while I was on break a couple of days ago, Travis Scott dropped these two new tracks, which collectively have racked up millions and millions of streams. They seem to be pretty popular. A lot of people asking me to review them and talk about them. As you may already know, Travis Scott's latest record, which I did not anticipate enjoying. I did enjoy it quite a bit, and it made it onto my top 50 list of the best albums of 2015. I think the record is really great. I think it kind of takes an artsy, somewhat highbrow approach to making this new Atlanta sound, this very dirty, low-down trap music. And yeah, I mean, I think Travis Scott has kind of come a long way since his earlier mixtapes and projects, a lot of which I thought sounded awful. So it's really cool to sort of see him coming into his own a little bit. However, I kind of feel like these new tracks over here, these two new tracks, A-Team and this new cut featuring The Weeknd, are sort of average. I mean, really painfully average if we're going to be honest with ourselves. A-Team just really doesn't have much to it in terms of a song. What Travis is doing vocally and lyrically over the track is completely forgettable. I think the only thing that's really redeemable about this track is that it has kind of a decent melodic loop going for it in the beat. But even that loop kind of gets tiresome by the end of the track. Now, the cut featuring The Weeknd isn't too bad. It's just that stylistically it kind of feels like a mishmash of several different tracks from Rodeo, including like the second half of 90210, and of course that cut with The Weeknd. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of feels like Travis is sort of watering down his sound a little bit with these two tracks. Not really sure what he was hoping to gain from releasing these songs. They just kind of feel like a couple Rodeo leftovers. In fact, A-Team feels like a track that he could have come together with before Rodeo. It kind of feels like a cut that could have been on Rodeo, but without the great, I guess, a detailed beat accompaniment, and without, you know, kind of the big instrumental crescendos, and I don't know, just without a great vocal line either. There's just really nothing that memorable about two of these tracks. But the thing about Travis Scott is that he has just blown up between the release of Rodeo and now, between just the hype for the album, how much people have been enjoying it. I guess he's with Rihanna now, and he's producing with her, producing for her. Allegedly, his producing for her has kind of held her new album up because it's sort of taking time for him to do what he's doing. Yeah, so he has a much larger audience now than he did prior to Rodeo. So I guess he kind of wants to keep them, you know, sort of locked in and thinking about him by dropping more music. But this music has a really short shelf life. I'm not really sure it's, you know, going to be sticking in anyone's mind at the end of the year. Just two really weak tracks. Just kind of hoping he, I don't know, now that he's more established and he's come through with a great project, I would much rather that he kind of keep stuff like this under wraps and just wait for his next album, or come together with a full mixtape where the material is a little more impressive, a little more fleshed out. Though, again, I'm not really sure if he's going to be doing mixtapes or anything like that. Probably commercial tracks from here on out, unless his career kind of takes a nosedive or something like that. But yeah, I would much rather he just kind of, you know, just put out the best of the best that he has to offer, especially at this point where I feel like he's still working to define himself. You know, while I do enjoy his music, at least from his latest album, quite a bit, his influences are still plain as fucking day. And I think it's going to be maybe another project or so before I think Travis Scott has an incredibly distinct and a unique sound. You know, I think he's doing really interesting things with the sounds that he's borrowing, but there's nothing about, especially these two new tracks, that are really unique or original or all that distinct. So I'm going to leave it at that. All right, what did you think of these two new tracks? Did you love them, hate them, why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. Anthony Fantano, Travis Scott, forever.